getting weird vibes from Dorit.
Hello and welcome to Official Glam. I'm your host Macy May, and today we have some juicy reality TV tea to spill. In this recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14, Episode 15, we're diving into the drama as the ladies head to St Lucia for a much-needed girls' trip. But of course, trouble seems to follow this group wherever they go. Stay tuned as we unpack the latest twists and turns in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills crew's lives. Dorit decided to drop by Erika's house, and she couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement seeing her friend basking in joy once again. "Look at you, radiating happiness," she exclaimed, taking in the stunning transformation of Erika's new sanctuary. It was nothing short of fabulous. Soon after, in walked Boz, gifts in hand for the ladies' upcoming adventure to St Lucia. After watching Sutton strut her stuff in a fashion show, Boz thought it was high time the crew bonded on a getaway. Clearly, these ladies have zero clue how to plan a drama-free girls' trip.
You want from me? I want you to stop wasting.
They should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously.
I'm gonna talk. No, listen, everybody.
Close with her, like, I'm not close with her. That's very interesting.
Naturally, the conversation drifted towards Sutton. When Dorit mentioned that Garcelle told her it wasn't wise to bring up Sutton's drinking, Erika jumped in, ready to defend herself. Let's get real. Sutton and Garcelle didn't cut me any slack when I was at my lowest, she stated in her confessional, recalling how they freely discussed her legal woes and personal struggles.
Stop you right now. You saying something about the drinking and her having this reaction about, her business. I'm sorry. What about what was done to me?
Right?
You need to figure out your medicine
I did.
and drink ratio.
Now, Sutton wants sympathy because someone mentioned her drinking? Please. Boz couldn't help but highlight the irony of Garcelle criticizing her for being Dorit's spokesperson when she was clearly playing the same role. Sutton and Garcelle were deep in conversation, the air thick with the kind of juicy gossip that could rival a soap opera. They couldn't stop giggling over the sight of Kyle and Dorit, who seemed to have smoothed out their differences, embracing like long-lost sisters at Sutton's fashion show. Garcelle, in her confessional, couldn't resist a playful jab. Sutton may say she doesn't bow down to anyone, but let's be honest. She's practically doing the limbo under Kyle's high expectations. The next stop on Boz's whirlwind goodie bag tour was none other than Kyle's house. As she arrived, Kyle greeted her at the door with a warm smile and a heartfelt thank you for her very sweet text. It had been a rough week for Kyle, especially after photos of Mauricio and his new fishnet gal that took social media by storm. Kyle couldn't help but reflect on the early days when she first met Mauricio, and now new memories of him moving out of the home they shared for 27+ years. As they chatted, Boz decided it was time to peel back the layers of her own life. She shared the story of her husband, Peter, a man who had once been her partner, but with who she became a stranger before his illness struck.
I was afraid to ask him for a divorce. I didn't want him to be mad at me. And then one day, I go over to pick up Lael, and there was this woman there. I came in the hospital one day, and she was like, rubbing his head and like giving him these like very tender kisses. And girl, I lost my mind. I was like, get this bitch out of here.
Later in the day, Boz was getting prepared for a milestone moment. Lael was going to have dinner with her mom and Keely, Boz's boyfriend, for the very first time. This was a big deal. A very big deal. This was the very first time her mom had ever introduced her to someone this special. Although very excited, Boz said that her stomach was a twist of nerves. When the time came, Lael wasted no time in channeling her inner interrogator. "So, what are your plans for the future?" She shot at the couple, her eyes sharp and unyielding. It was clear that Lael was a straight shooter, just like her mother. Dorit and PK sat across from each other, menus in hand. The tension in the air was thicker than a milkshake, but both managed to put on their best smiles. "Well, here we are, just two lovebirds having dinner. Can you believe it?" Clearing her throat, Dorit took the plunge. "So, let's chat. About that little email you sent, the one that felt like a dramatic monologue from a soap opera?" "It was a summary of how you've made me feel," PK replied with a grin. "Right, because nothing says let's work on our marriage like a rambling email about feelings," she retorted, her tone light yet pointed. We could have had a sit-down, maybe over pizza. PK chuckled. Pizza? I'd have preferred a pizza party over this drama fest.
Do you have in your mind, Dorit and I are going to try to work through things, but divorce is there?
I don't know.
Mauricio finally caught up with Kyle, and oh boy, it was the first time they had laid eyes on each other since that infamous photo made waves. With a sprinkle of spiritual healing and a dash of spa therapy, Mauricio waltzed into their meeting, ready to spill the tea. I only partied like 5 nights out of the 25 nights I was gone, he declared, a hint of pride in his voice. Kyle raised an eyebrow, clearly not buying it.
You know, obviously the Mykonos, I got photographed, in the airport. You know that I would never want to do anything on purpose that would hurt you or the kids.
I know that you would never do that on purpose. I know that you did not know your picture was being taken.
As the conversation unfolded, Mauricio took a moment to reflect on his getaway. I wanted to be alone and take advantage of seeing what that looks like, he mused, creating an awkward pause in the air.
How did we get here? If we care about each other so much, how did we allow this to happen?
The ladies have officially touched down in the sun-kissed paradise of St Lucia, ready to dive headfirst into a whirlwind of fun and festivities. With a vacation itinerary crafted by the ever-enthusiastic Boz, this trip promises to be a fabulous smorgasbord of activities. And let's not forget, it's a double birthday bash for Dorit and Erika, who are set to be pampered like queens. Upon their arrival, the ladies are greeted by the breathtaking views of their oceanside resort, where the sweet sounds of a steel pan band fill the air, serenading them from the balcony. But hold on to your hats because it's time for the much-anticipated room assignments. Cue the dramatic gasps, whining, and a sprinkle of diva tears. Naturally, the birthday girls, Erika and Dorit, score the prime villa alongside Boze, because who wouldn't want to celebrate in style? Meanwhile, Kathy Hilton and Kyle are cozying up in their own villa, leaving Sutton, Garcelle, and the ever-quirky Jennifer Tilly to share a space. And guess what? Jennifer and Sutton get the unique honor of sharing a bed. Talk about a recipe for late night. As they settle in, Jennifer candidly shares her thoughts on the group's dynamics, revealing to Garcelle and Sutton that breaking into their tight-knit circle isn't exactly a walk in the park. It's cliquey, she says, rolling her eyes. Sutton, feeling a bit like the odd one out, finds solace in Garcelle, her steadfast ally. Garcelle, with her signature sass, ponders aloud. That's the million-dollar question. Why does Sutton continue to stand up for Kyle when Kyle doesn't always stand up for her? It's a fair question, considering the drama that seems to follow their friendship. With laughter, a dash of drama, and a sprinkle of sass, this St. Lucia trip is shaping up to be one for the books. Stay tuned, because when these ladies are involved, you never know what fabulous chaos might unfold next.
But you can't be the one and not be able to take it.
You pose as a friend, and then oftentimes we're an enemy.
This is not going to be Sutton on trial at sea.
Okay, now you're being ridiculous.
What do you f***ing want from me?
Seriously, what do you f***ing want from me?
Well, well, darlings, that was quite the wild ride, wasn't it? From Dorit and PK's drama to Erika's feud with Sutton, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ladies brought it all on their tropical getaway. But the show must go on. Now, I have to ask, whose side are you on? And what's in store for the rest of the season? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and smash that like button. Got video ideas? Drop them below, darlings. Until next time, mwah!